Can you not see? I'm trying to film a makeup thing on YouTube. Shush. Thank you. Oh. So, don't be scared by my extremely pale face. This is actually like my natural colour, I guess you could say. Like, this is tan. Everyone always goes on and says, oh, you look so golden and tan. And seriously, it's just fake tan. Like, this is my real skin colour, which is quite pale if you ask me. Like, so I've zoomed you guys in a little bit. Okay, please, please, please excuse my weird little piece of hair at the top of my cat ears that are just floating around, doing its thing. I didn't notice for ages. It happens quite a lot throughout this video and I'm so sorry about it, but yeah, just, you know, try not to stare too much. I know it's annoying having like a little piece of hair floating around in oblivion, but yeah, just ignore it, you know, just, it's fine. Everything is fine. And I just want to say before I start, I am so sorry if like the angle is weird or you can't really see that well what I'm doing or anything, because this is like the first ever time I'm filming like a makeup tutorial, like how I do my makeup, getting ready with me. As you can tell, I don't have any makeup on. I did put primer on though, because that's just like a boring step. And yeah, so it's just this, if it focuses. There you go. It's just this one. It's actually really cheap. It comes in like a little tiny container. You only need a little bit because if you put too much on, your makeup's just gonna slip and slide everywhere, so that's not what we want. Okay, so we're just gonna start. I don't know how to do this. We're gonna start with foundation because I've already put down my primer and moisturizer and stuff. This has been my go-to recently. It's Born This Way by Too Faced. I use the shade Light Beige. My other favorite is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. I really like this foundation too, but I just haven't been using it as much recently. Not for any particular reason, just because this is like newer, so I don't really know. Oh, and by the way, every single thing I use, I'll try and link it down below, even though it's going to be a long list, because I use quite a lot of things, so. I have one beauty blender for powder and one for makeup, so I basically put like a black dot underneath the one that's for powder, so I know. A little tip there. Okay, so this is what I do. This is actually a foundation stick, but I just use it as contouring. I just bought like a dark shade and then I just use it as like a contour stick. I got one like about 3 to 4 shades darker than my actual skin tone. I do a streak along the sides, on each side. So this is like what I start off with. I look so funny. I do a little bit under my lip, so like there, and then a few streaks under my chin. I don't really contour my jawline as much. To blend this out, I use thermal water, I think it's called in English. They do sell this in Boots in the UK, and I'm pretty sure in America you can find this too. All I do with this is just kind of spray it on my beauty blender. I like squish them under the water until they like expanded, so they are damp. Plus also I added this. And I do like to just gently dab along to really blend that out. And then on some of the areas where I did the contour, I do just kind of like stroke it a little bit rather than just dab, because otherwise it takes forever to blend. So just a tip. Oh, you can also use MAC Fix Plus to do the exact same thing as I do with this, but MAC Fix Plus is quite expensive and you get like a quarter of the size of this, and this just lasts absolutely forever. I really think it does the exact same thing and looks just as nice in the end. I just put like a tiny bit just to do my nose. So I put a few little dots in the middle. I look so funny right now. Please no mean comments on my current appearance, okay? Before you comment, don't do it. I see you. Stop it right now. I'll just literally put my beauty blender like right down the middle where I put my little dots, like so. Hold it on there and then just like dab in the exact same spot. After we've dabbed around, basically go around the whole nose and just blend it out. And now that we've done with that, we're going to go in with 2 different concealers. Use this one for like highlighting and then my NARS one for actually concealing. I hope that makes sense. You guys already probably know of this one already. And then I use my NARS one. The NARS one is called Radiant Creamy Concealer, and I absolutely love this stuff. This stuff can cover the world, like it can cover anything. I always start with the highlight. So this is what I do with the highlight, as you can see. I look like a ghost, you know, right now. I know I look very pale. As soon as I put my powder and then my like bronzer on, it will just darken it up a lot, which is why I kind of tend to make it a little bit too light when I'm actually doing like the foundation and the concealer and stuff, because I know it's gonna darken up in a second, and if I do it dark now, it just won't look right. Now that we have that done, I go in with the NARS one. And I'm quite precise with this one because it's so opaque. Okay, so this is where I put this one, and I don't bring it all the way up just because with me personally, if I do that, it just looks way too intense and like it creases and it just looks too cakey under my eyes. Have you guys been watching Shane Dawson's new like conspiracy series or whatever it's called? It's so good. I just watched the first episode before I started this. Like, you can tell that they've put so much work into these videos, like so much editing. Like, God knows how many hours of editing that one clip took. Props to him. He's literally just making some insane content. You should definitely check him out. Like, the series is insane. If you have watched the first episode, it's on YouTube by the way, so everyone can watch. Please let me know in the comments down below what you thought of it, and if you're excited for the next one, or like what you think of the conspiracies that he talked about. I find it so interesting. Moving on, we're gonna do powder now. Unlike most people, I don't apply my powder with a brush. I actually use my other beauty blender that I just dropped, okay? It is damp. I don't apply any of this onto it. It's just a damp beauty blender that I've rinsed and then like just squished in a towel just to get the excess water off. When I use a brush, it just kind of sits on top of my makeup but doesn't really blend in as well. But using a beauty blender, honestly, it just makes everything look so seamless and flawless and just great, you know, just great. I use the Charlotte Tilbury one. It's called Airbrush Flawless Finish number 2, which is like a medium shade. Again, my beauty blender, I just swirl it around a little bit. Swirl, you know, pretend you're baking a cake. And the fact that it's damp means that it won't actually pick up a crazy amount of powder, so you're putting it on extremely evenly in like a nice thin layer. I'm pretending I know what I'm talking about, but I really don't. This is just kind of what works for me, so yeah. So exactly like applying foundation, I will literally just dab it on under both my under eyes. It just kind of pushes the powder into your foundation and just blends everything rather than just making it like sit on top of it. So I kind of go over like pretty much my whole face in like a thin layer everywhere. I don't apply too much. It's really easy to like get carried away with powder and just putting on like loads more than you need, but honestly a thin layer will go a long way. And I just kind of like the way it looks after a beauty blender. I think it just looks really seamless and nice. Use one of your older beauty blenders or something if you don't want to ruin your new one or buy a new one just for this. Moving on, I do my makeup in a really weird order, right? I don't do it like a normal person should do it. Well, I kind of like this order and I'll tell you why. The first thing I do is my blush. Yes, it's weird to do your blush first before your contour and your highlight, but that's just how I like to do it. I like to have my highlight and my contour like over it, so it's just kind of, it seems like it's actually coming from my face, like the pinkiness is actually coming from me, rather than it being like layered on top of contouring and highlight. So I use this Kylie one. I got it from her like winter collection thing, a really like cool tone pink color. In terms of brushes for everything, I am not going to be able to give you names and stuff because honestly I just have no clue. It's like they're just, can you not see? I'm trying to film a makeup thing on YouTube. Shush. Thank you. Oh, okay, it's got it. But this is just like a kind of like a wide, flat and like really dense brush. I don't know actually what this was made for. I use it for blush, so this will look extreme at first, but trust me, it won't look like this at the end, okay? Makeup is a process and you've got to go through the process. So start at my cheek and then go up and down and blend it around and just do all sorts of motions with it, but I'll kind of just stick to this spot here of my face. I'm looking very pink. It does look a bit extreme at first, and I just apply quite a lot of it. We're gonna blend this out. We'll make things right. It'll all be blended. If we blend, we'll blend things out. As you can tell, I didn't pursue singing as a career for a reason. I kind of like these videos. This is chill, you know? This is fun. If you want me to do more videos like this, like get ready with me and stuff, please comment down below, because I am really interested if you guys like these sort of videos. I never really did this because I just didn't think like anyone would want to see it, I guess. I don't know, this is why I took so long to make this video. A little Disney thing. Okay, that is enough blush, because that is actually quite a lot. Now that I've done a lot of blush, like a lot of blush, I go in with my contouring, and there are 2 steps to this. Literally like 2 brush sets to this. So I'll first go in with a big fluffy brush and just give like my whole skin a bit of like a bronzy glow, but still keeping in the section that I want it to be, but I'll just be a little bit more like messy with it, and I'll just go in again in the places that I want it to pop more. So like here, my forehead, because we all know I have a really big forehead and we need to make it smaller through makeup. Oh, and I use the Hoola Benefit one. This one. And like I said, I just go over like all the parts that I want to have contour, and I'll not be as careful with it just because I'm applying like thinner layers and it's not going to look too insane. So I'll just really blend this out with this brush. Like I'll apply it where I want to do it and then just blend it out all over the place. Cool, so now that we have done that step, I'll go in again with like my slightly more tapered brush, so more dense and like smaller. And I'll just go over the places that I want it to be like more defined. Make sure you bring this all the way up and then into your like ear, because the worst thing is when you have like just a line starting from here of contour, but then back here there's nothing. Now I'll do my nose, really just a little bit on my nose. Like I don't like doing too much because otherwise it just looks kind of weird. So you can tell like it's a little bit overdone. And that's fine. I'll just go in with my big fluffy brush again and then just completely go over like my whole face and my nose, everything. Make sure everything is blended. So it just kind of all just flows super like seamlessly together. There's no like fine lines. I might go back into my actual like setting powder just a tiny bit to help it all like blend out a little bit better. I actually learned this from James Charles, so I'll just put like a little bit of powder on each side of my nose to really like define the nose contour. While we're waiting for that, I'm just gonna go in with highlights. This is probably one of my favorite parts of makeup, just looking all glowy and just shiny and just, it's great, you know, it's great. I use the MAC Extra Dimension Skin Finish, and this shade is Double Gleam. And for this, I'll use a little like fan brush, I think it's called, I don't know. Just a random little fan brush. You can get them from anywhere, literally. And I'll go in quite a lot. Like I'll just dabble it around, swirl it, and do all sorts of things with it in here. I'll go in with my little water thing again and just... highlight just makes me happy, okay? And I'll kind of just do it on top of my eyebrows a little bit as well. Now that I've drenched myself in highlight, I go back in and I just blend everything out. I'm just going to wipe off the powder off my nose too. Sometimes I like to just go over that again with more highlight, because highlight is a girl's best friend. Just go in with a little bit with a little brush. Just want to like squeeze the brush, pinch it a little bit, and then go over like the top part of your nose. Just kind of blend it out a little bit just to make it look, I keep saying natural, but it's obviously not natural because it's makeup, but just to make it look less, just to make it look nicer, okay? Can we just compare my face, the colour of my face, to the start of the video, please? This is what I mean when I say makeup does a lot. Now that we're done with that, I like to spray this water all over myself. I basically spray my whole face with this and wait for it to like dry a little bit and stuff, and then start on my eyes. It'll look bad at first. You might be like, oh my god, I've ruined my makeup. But honestly, as soon as it dries down properly, It makes it look so much nicer and like less powdery. Woo. Starting with our eyeshadow, I freaking love Urban Decay palettes. They are so good, they're so creamy. This is not sponsored, but Urban Decay, you know, hit me up. I live for these palettes. Like, these are my favorite eyeshadows in the world ever. They're so good. And I've got this like Naked Mini Heat palette. Oh, and then I blend it with like a little brown color from MAC, and I use this just to deepen the crease and stuff. I'll basically go in with this like color here. Is it this one? Yeah, this one. It's like a very like nude brown color, and I'll basically just put that all over my lids, just everywhere. I'll just blend it out over my whole eye basically. And then I'll start deepening up my crease. And for that I'll use like a slightly smaller blending brush. It's just like a round tip, and when I start to like define my crease a little bit more, I start to use like smaller and smaller brushes to really get into like the little crevice of my eye. So now I'll go into Hot Spell, which is like the third colour along in the palette. So yeah, right into my crease basically. I hope I'm doing a good job of this. I'm so sorry if you can't see anything, if it's like bad angles. I'm not used to doing like makeup stuff, so I hope you can see what I'm doing. Now using the exact same brush, I'm going to go in with the orange shade. Don't be scared to use colour. Honestly, especially orange, like if you just blend it out right, it looks so nice. Orange and brown together, And I'll pretty much go over the exact same place I just applied the last colour. Really blended it out and like kind of slightly outwards to my eye to kind of give it like a little bit more of like a winged effect. I go in with an even smaller brush, like a really tiny little brush, and I get this next colour, which is Heist. I really just focus this like right in my crease, just like half of my eye to the end of it, so this part of the crease and not like the inner crease. Now it's time to go in with our brown shade, and we've got to be careful when we go in with this because it is another dark colour. Go in with the small little brush again, and I just dab it like ever so slightly, just a little bit, just a tiny bit. Go into like my corner crease of my eye. So the crease of my eye, but like more into the corner of it rather than up here. It looks like this at the moment, but I will blend that out so it's a little less intense. And then in the actual like lid of my eye, I go in with this lightest colour. So just grab like a little, I don't know what to call this, little patting thing, and just go over my lids with it. Okay, so it should look a little bit like this now. It's quite intense, the difference, but again, we're gonna get our little blending brush and we're gonna blend it out. Big fluffy one, and blend. But I don't blend it all the way down, I just go over the crease, and then that normally just helps to blend the bottom one as well. Now I'm gonna go and do my eyebrows. These are both drugstore. I love these little pencils. They're like very thin. Can you see how thin that is? I use a lighter one for like the first part of my eyebrow, and then the darker one for like the middle to the end of my eyebrow, just so it's kind of like a little bit of an ombre effect. I just outline my whole eyebrow with the lighter shade, and then I go in with the darker one, fill in here to the end, and then I go in with the lighter one again and fill in like the start of my brow. I'm gonna do that off camera because honestly this takes full concentration. Okay, I'm back and I've outlined my eyebrows, and I basically just fill in like halfway till the end of my eyebrow in the darker shade. So I'm gonna do that now. Then I go back in with the lighter shade and then just fill in the front of my eyebrows. Just like small little strokes. Don't like dig the pencil in too deep because you'll get too much colour, and we want to make it like quite light. Those are my eyebrows. Finally finish those. Eyeliner time. I hate this part so much. Eyebrows and eyeliner are the worst things ever, okay? I like to use my setting spray beforehand, only because sometimes if I use setting spray after I've done eyeliner, it can like smudge a little bit and just go all over the place, and to clean that up is the most devastating thing in the world. I use the Urban Decay All Nighter. Love, love this setting spray. It is amazing. Your makeup will not move. For eyeliner, I use this like little device here. It's by Maybelline and it's called Master Ink, and I use the matte one, and I am running out, so hopefully this doesn't turn into a disaster. You're gonna see a lot of me now. You're gonna wish you never clicked on this video. Are you ready for the disaster to happen? Step numero uno is to draw a line from the end of your eye to where you want your eyeliner to go, like how far you want it out. So let's do that first. Okay, so it should look just something like this. We're going to start doing the actual eye itself. So we're just going to draw a thin line all the way across the top of your lashes. Okay, so your eye should look something like this right now, with a line drawn all the way across and also a little line going up at the end of your eye. I'm actually running out. I'm really low on this, so hopefully we can make it through this video. So I grab onto not the complete end of the line, but just ever so slightly before the end of it, because you want it to still be like pointy. You don't want it to be like a thick end. So slightly before the end of it, and then you drag it back into your eye. Should look something like this, with a little gap in between. And now all we've really got to do is just fill that out, and we're pretty much done with eyeliner. So. That is our eyeliner complete. That's pretty much it. Like, it just takes a bit of focus and concentration to know like the lines that you're doing and stuff, because one little wrong turn can go quite badly. I'm gonna do the other eye off camera because this has been a stressful experience, and I will be right back to show you the other eye finished. So, bye. So we have finished our eyeliner, all done. Now it's time for pretty much the last step in this, which is mascara. I use this one. It was a present. I didn't buy this myself. But it is a mascara from Chanel. My mum got me this, so I'm using it. But I would normally just buy like a drugstore mascara. There are so many good drugstore mascaras, and that's what I would usually use. It's really, really good. I do like it, but I don't think it's a necessity to get a Chanel mascara. Do you know what I mean? I'm just gonna do my mascara and show you guys the finished look. Can't believe I've done a makeup video. This is crazy. There's no real trick to me doing this, so I'm gonna do it off camera. It's just applying mascara. I like to do at least like 3 to 4 layers. Alright, cool. So I've done my upper lashes with mascara, and then now I just get this like tiny little one. It's actually from Pretty Little Thing. It's a sample one. Just any little sample mascara, or mascara that has like a really small little head. Little one like this is perfect, because you can just kind of get into the nitty gritty little eyelashes. So yeah. I really hope you enjoyed this style of video. I don't know, I got like loads of requests to do it like for a while now, and I've just been putting it off, to be honest. Like, I was a little bit scared to do it with people like judging like the video. I don't know. Let me know as well if you want more of these videos, if you want me to do like more get ready with me's and stuff like that. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.